The president tonight is back at the White House preparing to unveil this week a major change in his campaign look. The jury took about 9 hours and just about a half hour ago came down with their verdict. Guilty of first-degree murder, and Lenny Hawley guilty of attempted murder as well. Good morning again. I'm Neil Simon, live at Eyewitness News 4, continuing to follow breaking news outside of Gallup. Just about 15 miles outside of town, the Giant Industries refinery has reported 2 explosions. The entire race right now in New Mexico and throughout the rest of the nation does hinge on that turnout. The Republican Party fighting a slight uphill battle here in New Mexico because the Democrats have several other groups, about 5 of them in all, that are out rallying the voters to get them out to the polls today.
This is Eyewitness News 4 at 10.
Good evening. The Kerry campaign train has left New Mexico after a 2-day trip in the state that ended tonight in Gallup. The president tonight is back at the White House preparing to unveil this week a major change in his campaign look. In New Mexico and elsewhere, Bush will be joined by Arizona Senator John McCain. Officials say McCain will be by the president's side so much this week, he'll look like the president's running mate. It's the Bush-Cheney team's new campaign offensive aimed at courting swing voters and building momentum before the Republican National Convention.
Traveling with the president gives the president a good housekeeping seal of approval from a bona fide hero.
According to the latest NBC News Wall Street Journal poll, McCain is liked equally among Republicans, Democrats, and independents, and could be one of Bush's keys to winning swing voters.
10 governors from the...
He says he's a certified animal chiropractor who teaches people in Albuquerque how to adjust their pets' bodies. But he's not a licensed veterinarian, so some say what he's doing is unsafe and even illegal. Elena Darvaux is live in southwest Albuquerque with the details. Sheriff's officials say 6 people in Florida were beaten to death over a video game system and some clothing. Officials say a man recruited 3 teenagers to stab and beat the 6 people to death with baseball bats. 4 people were arrested. Police believe the man who recruited the teenagers was looking for revenge from a stolen Xbox and some clothing. 2 days after his death, an autopsy has failed to show how singer Rick James died. The 56-year-old funk singer died in his sleep Friday at his home in Los Angeles. The LA County coroner decided to do additional testing because of the singer's history of drug abuse.
Some people live...
NASA's plan to send a probe to Pluto could be delayed because of the Los Alamos National Laboratory shutdown. The lab, which is making fuel for the probe, had refined about half of the plutonium NASA needed when the shutdown started. A security breach prompted Department of Energy officials to bring most work at the lab to a halt. The Pluto probe, called New Horizons, may end up being delayed for a year, or NASA officials might launch it on time, just with less plutonium.
It's a wine festival.
From wine to fly fishing, a fly fishing tournament this weekend where anglers don't have to catch the biggest fish to win a prize. 15 fisher teams hit the San Juan River in New Mexico this weekend. They're taking part in the San Juan River Buy Fly Tournament, trying to catch the biggest and the smallest fish. It's all about picking the right fly and using the right technique.
Wet fly or dry fly. It isn't 2 patterns.
The money raised at this event will go to the Navajo Mission Group.
After the break, a new way to save money and how credit unions are using it to lure more Hispanic members.
Plus, how people are getting gouged in Greece. A new report shows you how to avoid Olympic rip-offs in Athens.
Probably, if it's typical monsoon, we're looking at probably the 2nd week of September, right around State Fair.
It's been nice that we actually got them last year. I don't remember
Last year it was almost non-existent, yeah.
Good to see the taupes turning around.
Yeah, they are. They
Very
won
nice.
2 in a row now,
Nice.
so yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Ed. And we'll come right back with a look at your 5-day work week forecast.
Chances are slight through Wednesday. A little better Thursday and Friday with some cooler weather on the way.
Take what you can get.
All right.
That's right, and we will. Thanks a lot, and thank you guys for joining us.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bill, we now are learning that 10 more people were transported after an initial 4 people with very serious burn injuries. So that would be the total of 14 people seriously affected by this. There are about 200 people, I understand, that work in that refinery, and they're all evacuated. There was a travel center nearby that had several people in it that was basically shaken by this explosion, and it also has been evacuated. Do you know of any other evacuations or other safety precautions taken in that area, Bill?
Well, there are no...
Bill, you mentioned that they have seemingly put this fire out for now from the 2 explosions that took place about 45 minutes ago now, but there's also that threat of future explosions. Understanding the refinery business maybe a little better than myself, what could you tell us about what that threat could be as far as once there is an explosion in a refinery? Is it often likely that several more follow? Or is it the fact that they've put these 2 explosions and the ensuing fire out that maybe the refinery there and the area there is in the clear at this point?
Well, it looks like it is in the clear. I can see the fire trucks right now.
All right, Bill Donovan from the Gallup Independent newspaper, thank you so much for joining us and keeping us up to date. We have our own crews on the way. Chopper 4 flying to the scene, weather permitting. We'll have some video from what has taken place just outside Gallup. Again, about 13 miles east of Gallup. Giant Industries refinery, 2 explosions about 45 minutes ago, just before about 9:30 this morning. 14 people now have been transported to a local hospital in that area, 4 of them with life-threatening injuries. We now go back to regular programming on this NBC station.